In their places, let me just say that Pat Donohue and a member of her board of trustees, Gwendolyn Harris, is going to be a part of the response team, and one of our wonderful board members, Linda Novak, is going to join us as well. And as we introduce this, let me just say that I can testify that this is one of the best things we have ever done at our institution. It has had a tremendous impact. I'm far and away not the best person to be up here talking about this program because I probably know less about it than anybody who participated in it who is here. We have some experts who are here that I do want to have comment. We were fortunate to have Linda be on the committee and to participate in the decision processes that John talked about. And we have both Maureen Russell, who is a part of our team that connects both our student affairs operation and our academic affairs operation. She heads the Center for Academic Excellence. And as you heard earlier, Rich Estrada, our academic affairs executive vice president, who also was involved in this. A person who's missing here, and a key element in our whole program, is Don Duran, the vice president for student affairs, who does all of the things that John was talking about in terms of mandatory orientation programs, and we're very proud of him for all of the work that he does. But he was under the weather seriously, and Richard threatened not to come if he had to sit next to him. So, so we excused him. I also want to correct one of the things I heard earlier. You know, every time I hear John Gardner, I get inspired all over again. He is just an absolutely wonderful presenter, and some of the best things that we did was to invite him to come to our campus and talk to our faculty at our fall colloquium. He did a pretty much all-day session with our full-time faculty during the daytime, and then in the evening repeated that, except it was a wholly different presentation to our adjunct faculty. And he has a unique way of connecting himself to faculty members that really resonates, and I think it was one of the best things that we have done at our colloquium. So John is obviously somebody who is a superstar in this business. I first met him at the invitation of Maureen Russell and Don Duran at the international conference that was held in Dublin, Ireland. So unfortunately, I had to travel to Ireland in order to get over to say hello. So I think the first drink we had together was actually over there at one of the establishments, the fine establishments in the near Trinity College, if I don't mistake myself, where the conference was being held. But this is an international group. John has been most modest about his role in formulating it. There are literally hundreds and hundreds of universities and community colleges that have participated in this program. And I will just say from my point of view, and then I'm going to pass this on to a couple of other folks, and then perhaps ask Maureen and Richard to talk just a little bit about their perceptions of this. But I want to just say that I think the best thing about this is, in our estimation, the key element in student success is engagement. If Don Duran were here, he would tell you the story that he told at our board meeting earlier today. Linda heard him describe a recent study in which some students, K through third grade, were studied against and compared to a panel of other students. These were engaged in schools where there was an extraordinarily high level of engagement, and they were treated to the kind of experiences in their kindergarten through third grade years that everybody would want to have their children exposed to. And they followed these students for a number of years to see how successful they would be in life. And what they found was what you might expect, that, as our buttons here say, the first year matters. Certainly, the first few formative years of a student's educational life matter in a big way. These were students who ended up being more successful financially. They were able to work together with their peers and their colleagues in a professional setting. They were enriched, fulfilled, happier, and maintained good relationships throughout their life, and were, by every measure, definable as successes. We think of our treatment of our first-year students in quite the same way as treating kindergarten students, with the opportunity to find that engagement and then have that reflect on how they view their collegiate experience. And pretty much the way John was describing his, even though you may have started off with something less than a stellar academic record, it certainly worked out for this gentleman. I know those of us who are here, by and large, all had similar experiences. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here doing this. But I do think that this program has a way of making sure that the first year of our college students' experience is really extraordinarily good. I would say the other best thing about this program is what it has done by way of changing the dialogue on our campus. And my colleague presidents here will know that we spend an inordinate amount of time talking about everything except academic issues. This program has completely refocused the dialogue on our campus to talk about some of the most important academic issues that we have ever addressed. And it's an ongoing dialogue that continues to this day. And for that, we're everlastingly grateful to John and to this program.
And certainly to be involved in a process like this in an intimate nature is a wonderful opportunity to learn a lot about your college and to contribute a lot to your college. Not unlike the Middle States study, this project gives the entire college community an opportunity to focus, to brainstorm, to evaluate, and determine direction in helping our students to be more successful while they're with us and when they leave us and move on to their life or other institutions. But this project, with its clearly defined goal, helps foster a climate that requires reaction. It's about doing by the entire college community. This process in determining how best to help our students with transitions stimulates a climate that's inclusive and empowering for staff members. We all know that having ownership of the work done augments positive outcomes. Engagement by the faculty is at the core of the success of this program. Without your faculty behind it, without them buying into that process, you can't make any movement. I was most fortunate to be involved with this process and experience the enthusiasm, the hard work, the dedication, and desire to make a difference as demonstrated by our staff. It gave me the opportunity as a trustee to get to know the staff, see the quality of their work, and to know how they can harness that. Trustees can make a difference in many ways, certainly by both supporting the administration and staff in their efforts. But often we find ourselves relegated to solely fiscal matters, which, without understanding the evolution of student needs, limits our usefulness. Having a clear understanding of how the community college has evolved, especially in the last 5 years, I believe is imperative in being able to support student success. Two-year colleges are no longer analogous with a quick bus stop. Hop off, hop on, walk away from it. But rather the cruise ship mentality. They're there to stay for a while. They're there to experience. They're there to learn. And they're there to take advantage of all that you have to offer. We need to step up and look at ourselves differently because community education is where this country's moving. This provides our students with total experience that is even more important to their academic success and, yes, their retention. They have to have more than just a classroom experience to keep them with us and other learning experiences. As a trustee, I feel we can help promote student success by giving support to some of these ideas and some of the things that we've done on this campus and John has helped us promote. It's certainly providing our students with a transition between high school and the two-year college and being concerned and attentive to that transition from the two-year college to the four-year college. We've also really evaluated our athletic program. If after not moving for many years and making it more accessible for our students, one of the things that we've talked a lot about and taken action with is proportionately to increase our offerings to students so that more students can be involved. Keeps them on campus, keeps them engaged with their peers. They learn a great deal from an athletic experience about responsibility, teamwork, and they learn from their peers. And I think John Gardner was addressing learning from their peers. Very important. Having a technology and library delivery system that reflects how students live, not how they lived 20 or 30 years ago. They live very differently. They communicate differently. A student center where students can relax and learn from their peers. I think that is also very important and a place they'll learn a lot from each other. Encourage opportunities for more informal crossover dialogue between students and staff. So often, our students only see a staff member in the classroom. They don't see them outside the classroom. There aren't those formal or less formal opportunities for them to engage with staff. We need to foster that. Promote cultural experiences to help students know more about the real world. Many of our students, as I'm sure some of yours, never leave the county. Some of our students have never been to New York City, which is totally shocking, isn't it? Make student services in place that foster reaching out and aiding students for at risk, those that are at risk. Taking an active interest in all our students. Post-high school, returning to education, veterans, transfer students all need our support and our involvement so they can become engaged. Ocean County has instituted some excellent changes because of this program, one being the first-year class for academic success that many of our professors teach. This class has been a reminder to our staff to be realistic about taking students from where they are to where they need to go. All the above mentioned can help a student to see that learning is a lifelong process, not just a moment in the classroom, and that's what we hope for, I'm sure. So hopefully this will give you some idea of my enthusiasm for this project and how much it really has helped target some of the viewpoints of myself and my fellow trustees.